All right, folks, how you doing? We're going to get going in a minute here. There's just one thing I'd really like to say. I've been thinking about this. Now, I have four fairly small channels. None of them have crested 100 subs yet. Now, I had over 100 subs about 4 years ago. Then the whole microstop thing screwed me up. And I had to start over, and basically I thought, well, at that point in time, this is a good chance to split the channel content out so that, if you're interested in games, there's a game channel. If you're interested in cars, there's a car channel. If you're interested in IT stuff, there's an IT channel. And if there's just stuff that kind of falls somewhere else, there's a channel for that too. And that's worked out pretty well. In fact, in total, I have more subs now across those four channels than I ever had with the single channel. But, you're kind of starting over again and learning things, and you look like a newbie, even though I've been on YouTube for almost 6 years now. And there's a lot of things I do wrong, but, I'm a guy with not a lot of resources, so I do the best I can, no matter what the channel is, what the content is. My goal is always to try to provide something useful for you folks. That is always, always the goal. I don't just throw up stuff that's garbage. I don't just put up things. I am very, and this is where when I break one of the YouTube rules, which is, people say just keep putting content up even if it's garbage. Well, I don't believe in that. I don't like to waste anybody's time. That's a big tenet with me. I like to put up stuff that I think that, at least for me, from my point of view, that I would like to see. Stuff that, if I had a question or I wanted to see something, that's the kind of content I try to put up. So I try to be thoughtful in that respect, and mindful of, what's interesting to people. This is why you've seen specifically on this channel, Gaming with the Real Duds Fried, and I am the Real Duds Fried. Here you are. Used to be mid-age gamer. I try to provide content that people might find interesting. And I try to make sure that even when I'm doing my editing, like in my most recent videos, you've seen a lot of music and a lot of cutting and a lot of just a lot of editing to try to shorten them down, get rid of the boring content. This is what you learn the more you do YouTube videos over the years. And I know not everybody's going to like what I do, and that's fine. I get that. But here's the thing. I have a proposition. And my proposition is this, or maybe even less or so a suggestion. YouTube is likes and dislikes, and the problem with that is pretty much anybody who has a Google Plus account has a YouTube account and can like or dislike a video at will. That's fine. But there's no accountability there. Likes are obvious. You like the video, there's nothing more. Great, thank you, and God love you for it. I go for those likes. I hope I'm reaching somebody. That's a good metric to me. And speaking of metrics, YouTube has a lot of analytical tools and a lot of metrics to let you know if you're doing something right or not. What's the viewer time? How long are they staying on? I mean, I've used those analytics to actually inform me as to how to shorten up some videos. If people are getting bored 30 seconds in, well, then I guess I got to make it a little more interesting. I got to consider the viewer. Just like writing, and I'm also a writer, you have to consider your audience. And sometimes I fail that. Sometimes I get tired. I get wrapped up in what I'm doing and filming instead of what I'm, what the viewer experience is. And I apologize for that. I do my best to try to make it interesting. And, I literally don't have the resources a lot of these people have. I mean, I'm a guy who's basically using, for video editing, I'm either using Movie Maker or Wondershare Video Editor. That's about it. That's about as advanced as I can get. I can't afford anything else. I can't afford, Adobe Premiere or After Effects or anything like that. I'm just a guy trying to provide some decent content. And if it looks a little jittery and a little home movie, I apologize. I do the best I can. And I've had all kinds of experience with YouTube's content ID and copyright strikes and that. I've had issues with Leo Laporte and his Twit network abusing the copyright system. I've had all the experiences all the other YouTube content creators have had, even though my channels are small. That's fine. But the likes and dislikes, that's kind of getting in my craw. It's just because, for one thing, Google Plus accounts, you know, they're fairly anonymous, just like, and that's a good thing. I mean, Facebook, remember, tried to do real name stuff, and that didn't fly. Google Plus tried to do that stuff, and they backed off. In fact, to the point where Google Plus and YouTube are a lot more disconnected than they are connected now. And that's a good thing. And anonymity is important. You know, you have an online persona. I mean, the most you're ever going to see of my face is this, and you're not going to hear me say my real name and my social security number and where exactly I live and my address. It's not going to happen. Because I want to preserve that much anonymity, but occasionally I need to get out in front, let you know there's a real person here. This is the same voice you hear if I do voiceovers and that. This is me. You know, and I'm just a normal guy. I'm just, you know, I'm nothing weird. But here's the thing. There's videos I like and dislike as well. But I think there needs to be a new rule for dislikes because there's entirely too much trolling going on in YouTube. And this isn't whining, and it's not like I get an inordinate amount of dislikes, but the few I get, I don't quite understand because you never hear, and it's like videos like, you know, how to help you do this, how to help you do that. Stuff that I took sometimes 20, 30 hours to put together to figure out how would this be interesting and how could this help somebody, you know, or how can I make this interesting, and I get a dislike and I don't get it. And you know, it just comes down to people can be trolls because they're allowed to, they're anonymous. There's no accountability there. And my thing is, I have a new thing. I think that there should be something new instituted with likes and dislikes, where likes, who cares? We know you like you, we like you, that's fine. But if someone does a dislike on a video, I think they should be required to put in a comment so we know who they are. Not so we can retaliate or that. That's not the thing. In fact, I've seen the negative likes or the dislikes, is what they are, negative likes. Boy, talk about politically correct, huh? No, but anyway, I've seen dislikes literally be done just because people can, just to be dicks. And it's like, well, you know, no, there needs to be accountability because YouTube isn't just some drive-by, you know, video source. This is a community. We're all in this together. Viewers, creators, all this. We help each other. And honestly, if someone really dislikes my video, I want to know why. Because I take the good with the bad. I'm not just sitting here looking for praise. I want to know what you didn't like. You don't like my face. You don't like the pace of my videos. You don't like the content of my video, whatever. I think that if you do a dislike on a YouTube video, you should have to put a comment. And when you do a comment, that means you're part of the community. We're going to see who you are. And you know what? If you're just doing this stuff and doing dislikes just because you're being a dick, well then you know what? I have the right to retaliate. If that's the point of your thing, if that's why you're doing it. You know, and there's a lot of people, it hurts, especially a small channel. And maybe that's giving the trolls thrills. Yay, I'm hurting a YouTube creator. Well, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm asking for your honest opinion. What moved you in a negative way? I want to know because I want to make better content. Hey, I want to turn that dislike into a like, you know? And if all you want to do is just be a dick, then you know what? There should be consequences. And you know what? There's enough anonymity between YouTube and Google Plus now to where we can just be creators. We don't have to use our real names or where we live or all that crap, you know? There's enough there, so we're not talking about a personal information issue or a privacy issue, okay? We're talking about accountability. This is a community. This is a community, period. And communities need to talk to each other. To just sit there and throw stones isn't productive. I want constructive criticism. If you hate what I'm doing, tell me why. Think about it. And if you can't tell me why, then don't do the dislike. Real simple. When I do dislikes, I'll tell you right off, when I do dislikes, I do a comment, I just do it by automatically. I say, look, I don't like this. This affected me in a bad way. I don't just automatically do dislikes. Now likes, I wouldn't put the same requirement. Why? Because all you're going to hear is happy talk. And that's not a bad thing. Hey, I'm glad if someone gives me a thumbs up or a high five. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. But you know what? You get more information from the people who don't like it. Okay, now I know good. This is good. But the people who don't like it, what's bad? So tell me what's bad. And I'll try to fix it. I'll do everything. I will try to make sure you have a good experience because that's what I'm here for. This is why I do this. I don't do this just to hear myself talk. I don't put into this work. I drive my friends crazy, especially on this channel, the gaming channel. I'm doing gaming, and I've had my friends tell me more than once, geez, I liked it better before you did the freaking streaming because there's usually an hour involved of setup to try to get everything right before we can start gaming because I'm trying to provide an experience for you. Even if the live stream screws up because of bad bandwidth, I'm recording it live, and then I'll edit it and put it up, the next day or something for you. I care about the people who watch, and I appreciate them. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the watching. But if you dislike, you know what? Be a grown-up about it. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what it is. Don't just say, oh, you're a dick or you look funny or you're a fat whore or whatever. Just tell me what you really don't like, what's not working for you. I look at all that stuff, and I'm going to do my best to incorporate that. Anyway, that's just it. And it's the holiday season. There's the Christmas tree in the background. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Heaven bless whatever heaven you believe in. And, we'll be back and we'll be talking to you. And no, you won't have to see this that often either because I know it ain't that pretty. But have a good one and peace out.